Yeah, right. Today, legendary Fender Custom 55 Telecaster. Hey, James G here with Tarpley Music in Fort Worth, Texas. You can also find us online at tarpleymusic.com. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. So I am holding a Fender 1955 Custom Shop Telecaster. Telecaster pretty much started all solid body electric guitars. So in 1950, Leo Fender started working with this idea of having a solid body mass-produced guitar. It actually first kind of started out with just the one pickup, and it was referred to as the Esquire. And then they added the second pickup in 1950, and they called it the Broadcaster. Well, there's a problem with that because Gretsch was making a Broadcaster drum set at the time, and so they literally were in the factory, took all the decals, cut off Broadcaster, and left Fender. So for about 8 to 9 months, they were producing these double pickup guitars, which just said Fender on it. We refer to those as the no-casters. So if you find one somewhere, buy it because it's worth a lot of money. And then eventually, they just went with calling it the Telecaster, and they were kind of using the popularity of the television. So they came up with the Fender Telecaster. And as simple as this is as a design, it was hugely innovative, and it literally just skyrocketed so many guitar designs that we still use. And in 1954, the Stratocaster was coming out with the double cutaway and the 3 pickups, and they kind of thought that that was going to replace the Tele, and it didn't. It just didn't. So they had already been kind of making some of the Hawaiian-style guitars that were electric starting in about 1945. So some of that stuff they brought over, like the ashtray-style pickup. The bridge and the pickup is kind of one piece. Clouson tuners they were using, those kind of aspects. And so they started working with kind of a pickup selection here. So the first thing that they did in, I think 51, is a position with this. The first position was actually both pickups. And then it went into this pickup, which was the neck only. And then it went into another one that was, it was the neck, but actually had a beefier kind of tone. Well, in 1952, they simplified that a little bit. So this became the back pickup. This became a tone control, because originally all this was doing was the bridge pickup, and then this was blending in the neck, so you could get both pickups at the same time. And then in the middle position, they put in the neck with the bridge here, and then in this position here, and then it was the neck, but it was this tone knob didn't do anything, and it was just a little beefier tone on that. And they kept that pretty much until about the late 60s, which is eventually this just became an overall tone control. So this is kind of mostly based off a 1955. So these are 55, 56 year handmade, hand-wired pickups. And obviously you've got the single ply white pick guard, 2-tone sunburst, the chrome knobs. This is an old 55 U-shaped neck. It's basically a Louisville Slugger. It's just so big, but man, it feels really good. So a lot deeper, because you think of those C's, that U is just a much bigger like that. So they also at the time had a V that had kind of a sharp edge to it. So this is the U neck, and it's a 9.5 radius all the way up. It's got some fret wear that's been done on it. Of course, the back of it completely sanded down, so it feels worn in, and it just plays like $1,000,000. I can honestly say it's one of the best teles I've ever held. So there is a reason custom shops are custom shops, right? So ash body. that which you would expect to that, and then of course these Clouson style. These are single line tuners here that Clouson was doing at this time, and the single line is just, you see Clouson right down the middle of the back of those. And so this is where it all began, and here we are so many years later, and they've had so many different types of models. The thin line has come out, the Deluxes have come out, B-Benders have come out, Deluxes, with humbuckers, the Nashville Telly with the middle one, and all very cool, innovative designs, but most of the time people just go back to the Telly. It's seen in every style, everything from old Western country all the way up to metal, and it's because it's so innovative, so simple. Three-way switch, very simple. Anyway, so we're going to hear this awesome thing, and what I've got is I'm just going through a carbon copy delay here by MXR, just giving it just a little bit of a slapback, which is really popular with Telly players, going into our Fender Tone Master Deluxe Reverb, direct out of that right into Studio One. And so we're going to play here. This is all the way open volume, all the way tone. And we're just sitting right there on the bridge pickup, which is the also the treble pickup. So you hear a lot of that. Your chicken picking and that kind of stuff is up there. And with overdrive, you get a really piercing solo sound up there. Can really, I'm going to take the delay off for a middle position, and this is where you get a little bit warmer of a sound. A lot of Tellys used for jazz. And then, of course, up here you have your rhythm pickup or your neck pickup, so it's a lot warmer sound. Still very versatile. A lot of great chord strumming used. A little bit of a slap back, a delay on that. Used in a lot of that older rock and roll, right? We heard it on its own, so now we're going to hear it in the mix with some backing tracks I recorded earlier. Hit it, boys! So an overall statement about this is whenever I hear or think Fender Telly, this is exactly the sound and feel and everything that I'm thinking of when I hear that, because they've been around since the 50s, right? Not that all these other different versions and models, there's some really cool innovative stuff that they've done with that, but it still comes down to this very, very basic model that is still so versatile and is still used, not just in country, it's just used in a lot of different styles. And I just can't quit playing this guitar today. And so it's just so amazing. People say, well, tone is in your fingers and your playing style, you should be able to play on any guitar. And I agree 100% with all that. A lot of your tone is in your fingers. You should be able to play well on a $200 or $300 guitar also, but the guitar and the gear absolutely makes a difference. It's what can take it from that great to phenomenal feel, that great to phenomenal sound. Not to mention that we took this out of the box, took it out of the case, I plugged it in and started playing it. I didn't tweak a single thing. I didn't even tune it. And that goes a long way when you think about those Fender shop guys are doing this by spec order. There's the last I've heard, I think there's like 8 or 9 people that do those custom shop guitars, and they're the best of the best. So you know exactly that you're getting a premier product, that everything has been done exactly right and to the exact specs. And you would think that this guitar was made in the mid 50s because of the way it feels and looks. And so it's just amazing. And it actually does come with an ashtray cover too. If you wanted to get a really vintage look, you could pop that thing on there. A lot of guys don't. It's purely preference, but definitely. And so if you have a chance to play any custom guitar by Fender or any other guitar maker, you've got to pick it up. There's a reason custom guitars are custom guitars, because you're not ever going to see that again. That one, the way that one is done. So I hope you learned a little bit about the Telecaster. There's a long history of that, and I touched on just a little bit of it, but I hope you got something out of it. And if you did enjoy the video, please hit like at the bottom and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And as we get more videos out and you want to see them, just turn on notifications, and we'll see you on the next one.